son. Okay, the next thing is how you hold the ball in your hand, which is very important. If you let the ball sit in your hand like this, you set so that the ball is on the heel of your hand like this, you won't be a good shooter. You need to learn to be able to put the ball. Now, you see, where's my hand at now? It's bridged up. I used to be able to say, you got to be able to put 2 fingers underneath the ball and your hand, and I should be able to slide 2 fingers under it, because if you do that, it's in good position. Whether you're shooting it down here or you go to here someday, it's in the right position. The next thing I always tell my guys, I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but having a crease in your shooting hand, see the back of my hand? There's a crease in my wrist. See that skin fold there? That's very important. If you try to shoot the ball and your wrist is straight, you won't be a good shooter. You know, you just can't, because you won't have backspin on the ball and all of that kind of thing. Next thing, just without doing it, but in fact, I asked your grandpa this the other day. What part of, when you're shooting around, what part of the rim do you look at?
Front.
Huh?
Front.
The front. Front.
You've been coached. Your grandpa told you to say that, didn't he? Front of the rim. The other thing that this guy had always said with having his shoulders square, and I disagreed with, he always said he wanted his guys to look at the back of the rim. Well, if the basket's over there and you're trying to concentrate at the basket when you shoot, and you're trying to find the back of the rim, what do you have to look through? The net, the front of the rim, to get to the back of the rim, and you never totally even see it. So the back of the rim is wrong. Always look at the nearest point of the rim every time, and learn to shoot the ball up and over it. Okay, arm extension. Arm extension. When you're shooting, whether you're shooting it here or up here, notice I didn't change my wrist angle. I watch guys shooting free throws, and I see guys all the time do this. As they're taking the ball up, they'll be here, and then they'll throw it back like this. That's what I call flagging the ball. You're like a flag flopping in the breeze. Don't do that. If you want to be a good free thrower, a good shooter, catch the ball with that shooting hand cocked, left for you, right for you. So when you're either shooting it this low or this high, you don't have to change that angle. You're going to be more consistent. Basketball is a game of percentages. Game of percentages. My Westland teams, my first college team that I coached, we shot over 50% every year except the first one I was there. As a team, not an individual. We shot over 50%. Now that's pretty good. You know, that's very good. And if you can shoot over 50%, you're going to be a player. And if you want to be a player, you have to be able to shoot the basketball. It's the number one fundamental in the game of basketball. Dribbling's important, passing's important, playing defense is important, rebounding's important. If you want to be the better player, the best players, you've got to be able to shoot the ball. And that takes time. Not everybody's the same kind of shooter. I mean, I haven't seen you guys shoot, but each one of you have different things that are pretty good and maybe not so good at your age. But that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. If you want to be good, you got to be self-confident. Okay? Hugely important. Your grandpa will tell you that one of the things even way back then, I tried to teach my players was to be confident in what they did. I wanted my team to be confident in what I did. Gordo reminded me of this, I don't know, a couple of years ago, that I had his team believe, he played for me in ninth grade basketball, I had his team believing they could beat high school teams. Now, what's that bad? No. I wanted them to be confident. Now, they weren't that good yet, but I didn't want to tell them that because I wanted the guy to feel good about themselves. The other thing about athletics in general, have fun with it. It's a game. All of athletics is basically a game, but it can teach you a lot. It can help you with a lot. And if you're a good athlete, the rest of your life can fall in place easier, I think. That's just me. I've seen it in thousands of kids probably already, you know. Being an athlete's important. My guys at Weston, I got doctors, I got surgeons, I got, optometrists, physical therapists. That's just my guys at Westland. So they were smart. They took care of their business, and we were good. Okay. All right. Next thing. So when we practice shoot off the catch and shoot, foot down, step into your shot. As soon as you catch the ball, your eyes need to go up on the rim. At what spot? The nearest one, right? Okay. And then your eyes got to stay there. If you're open, shoot it, you know. And of course, we're practicing, so we're shooting every one of them. We used to do what we call two-man shooting, where one guy'd pass me the ball from inside the basket. I'd catch it, get my foot down, I'd shoot it, I'd follow my shot. The guy that passed me the ball would come out where I was approximately. I'd go rebound it, score it if I'd missed it, put it in, get it. I'd make a good pass back out to you who threw me the pass. And the same thing in reverse. Catch it, eyes up, shoot it, concentrate, follow your shot. The passer comes out, and we just keep doing that. And then I'd have them move. And then I'd have them shoot next step off the dribble. If you're going to be a really good player, you got to be able to shoot the ball off the dribble. You know, so there are a number of guys that can just catch it and shoot it. And I had some of those even in college. But the best ones could put it on the floor, one dribble, two dribbles, and then they would plant which foot? Their inside foot, their left foot, turn their shooting side, jumping in the air, slightly ahead, shoot it, and follow through. The best follow through is your head would look like a goose's neck. You know how a goose looks, a head goose? His head's up like this and always looking. That's the follow through angle. And your hand shouldn't just do this. If you do this, you know what I call that? Squeezing grapes. You're in playing basketball. You're not picking grapes. The whole hand, the whole wrist, from the crease to here needs to follow through. Your elbow needs to straighten out so when you shoot, you're staying under it and it's got good arc on it. Okay? Am I boring you yet? Hang in there. Try to pick up anything I can tell you. So those are just, so shooting off the pass, shooting off the dribble are hugely important. When I coached college ball, I never taught guys to shoot the floater. You watch games of guys that go running in there now and they're shooting floaters. I never taught that because back then, nobody taught shooting floaters, to be honest. If I was coaching today, I probably would. So you'd have to practice shooting a floater. Same thing if you're going to shoot a floater off the dribble, your eyes would go up when you're ready to shoot. You'd have to have great concentration. And however you shot it, a little push or a little shot fall through, then you had to do that, obviously. So those are the things. Footwork with your feet. At your age, it's hard. It's hard for older guys. But after a couple of months of me yelling at them, they got it right, you know, and learned to do it right. And that's what, and then the concentration part, the follow through part is hugely important. And, you know, it doesn't take an athlete too long when they get older. It doesn't take them too long to pick up things. Now, you guys may have bad habits, what I'd call bad habits, shooting the ball now. I don't know. You might, you know, push the ball and not follow through. I don't know. Your elbow might go out instead of at the basket. I don't know. You may stop your hand instead of following through. I don't know. Those things are good? No, those are not good. You want to try to avoid that if at all possible. But if you do have faults, don't make the mistake I had a couple players in college make. They were always way too hard on themselves. I had a guy when I was coaching up at Morningside. I had him for 4 years. I finally, and I made a mistake. It's one of the few mistakes that I had in dealing with players. He kept he'd make a mistake and he'd get mad on the court. He'd get mad. Well, as soon as he got mad, guess where he went? Sitting with me, because you can't play just being mad. You got to stay focused. Your concentration has to be there. Your mind has to be together. Because if you get angry, if you get torqued off at your teammate, if you get torqued off at your coach, you can never play very well. It affects you. When I coached on a night that let's say I yelled at an official too much, you know what I thought after the game? I didn't do a good job coaching. What was I thinking about? The official. What should I have been thinking about? The court. Before games, I was a nervous wreck, really was. When I played, I was never nervous. Never, ever, ever nervous. Nothing bothered me. Games are fun. Practice is hard. Games are fun. And that's the way I coached. So in practice, we worked hard. I worked hard as a coach, teaching every day. Every day, I tried to teach different things. Might be rebounding, right? That might be, screening. There were some years I thought we didn't screen anymore. Nobody hardly screens, but we didn't screen good enough. So I'd spend a little more time trying to get better at doing those kinds of things. So all of this, I'm giving you years of experience in a short form here today, and I apologize for doing that. But what did I tell you in the beginning? If I can tell you one thing and you can pick it up and you'll remember it a couple of years down the line, it's been a great day. If you got two things, wow, that's a really good day. If you got everything I told you, there's something wrong with you. No, I'm kidding. But, even when I coached Gordo, I would get on players, even in the ninth grade, to get them to be better. But I always wanted to make it fun because it needs to be enjoyable, okay? If it's not enjoyable, my dad always taught me if you're going to do it, you do it right. When you start something, you finish it. You don't start and quit. You finish that year, and my grandkids, they would never even attempt to quit something because guess what? I'd be on them about it because that's not how you do business, That's not what you should be about. That's not what, you don't want people to think you're that kind of person, or at least I didn't. That's the way I went about it. Okay, so shooting off the dribble, shooting off the pass to start off with. And then with post players, which you guys obviously aren't at this stage, I'd have a different set of drills for them. As I got in college, I usually worked with the big guys. And I had, I think, 5 All-Americans that I coached. Why the big guys? They were what I called my meat and potatoes guys. You set the plate with those guys. If you had good inside players, great players inside, guess what? We were good. If you had outside players, and you got to have those, and you had 1 or 2 really good shooters, or maybe 1 great shooter and a couple good ones, you were in conjunction with him, then you get Final Four teams. Okay? I had a few of those, but that's not easy, and it's not always that hard. After that barrage of junk that I threw at you, I say junk, I'm teasing, of course. It's not junk, it's valuable. Okay. I think I shouldn't say this to you, but I will. Gordo knows this. I think I know as much about basketball as anybody in the country. That's what I think. I think I know as much about shooting a basketball as anybody in the country. Now, I couldn't go out and fix a tire. I couldn't, change the oil in a car or anything like that. I'm non-mechanical. God blessed me with the ability to have knowledge in sports. Basketball and baseball were my best, but I could see it and I could pick it up right away. It just it was there. Nothing that my wife used to ask me, how did you learn all the stuff that you do? Who taught you that? Well, you know what? There wasn't really anyone that did. It came out of here and from there. And how I knew things, I don't know. I developed, I learned. You got to be a learner in life. You got to be a dreamer in life, and you got to be a learner. Very important. Gordo, I've rambled out. Questions, anybody?